This is a Poet Punch podcast. I'm Nat Hay.
And I'm Tom Tricerri.
This is the show in which we pitch a Marvel character for a place in the MCU. We don't know who the character is going to be before sitting down, or even when in the timeline it's supposed to fit in. Enjoy. Where is it? Okay. Right. Back to it. Back to
it. New Marvel character.
All right. Bang, 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 bang. All right.
It's so good to be back after such a long time.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
28.
Yes, a low down number. Okay, 28. And this is the bit that just goes on for ages.
We got this.
But
Captain America? No. Imagine. Guys, we got to pitch a Captain America origin story.
Another one in phase 1.
It's phase 6. What? What is that? What do you mean?
Captain America, the second Avenger.
Gambit. Okay, it's a G. It's a G.
Oh, we could go.
We know it's a G.
Oh, okay.
And we're rolling.
Yep. 4.
That would have been
4
a good...
pages down. We could have had Ghost Riders. We could have had one of the Ghost Riders.
I love the Ghost of Springdale High, right next to the entire list of Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
Wait, so
4.
That one, right?
Is it?
Because that's 6, so that was 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, I don't know any of these.
6.
Glyph.
Oh, but look, Glob is right there, bro.
Yeah, but too late. It's Glyph. We're going for Glyph.
Glyph.
Now, who is Glyph?
The powerful conjurer Glyph summons an ancient Egyptian spirit to fight alongside them. Oh, so wait, spirits? Hold on.
Wait, is this a Moon Knight character?
Wait, there's an organization called Stake, Stake, like Shield. What?
Oh.
Okay. What? Okay, Nadine Hassan is overcome with conjuring powers beyond her control. It's not until she meets the Howling Commandos does she master her abilities. She joins the squad as a full-fledged member and becomes Glyph, fighting for her teammates and battling fierce foes that threaten Earth.
Okay, Howling Commandos.
Which one's Howling Commando?
That's the dudes from the first Captain America movie.
Oh!
Yeah. But when in the timeline is this set? Let's find out. Okay.
5.
Phase 5, so it's now.
Wait, so it's right now, so it's... okay, I'm going to have to familiarise myself with Phase 5.
Right. So Phase 5 starts with Quantumania.
Okay, so we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians 3, The Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and we've also got Secret Invasion, Loki, What If, Echo, all of the things.
Yeah.
Wait, is WandaVision not Phase 5?
No, it's Phase 4.
Oh, yeah, because there's only 3 phases in the Infinity one,
yeah.
Right?
And then there's only 3 phases in the Multiverse Saga.
Oh, right. I keep thinking Phase 4 is Infinity Saga for some reason.
No.
Alright. Interesting.
This is good, though, because this means it can be like a sequel to Moon Knight, I reckon.
Right, but I haven't finished Moon Knight. So
well,
I don't even remember the end. I don't know the ending of Moon Knight.
Oh, it's irrelevant. Don't worry about it.
It's irrelevant? Okay.
He wins.
He wins. Sick.
Yeah, he wins and nobody in the Marvel Universe notices.
Great. I don't know, because I don't think they're close. I mean, they're both Egyptian, I guess.
They've got, like, that design.
Is it Khonshu? Is that a thing?
Yeah, but okay, maybe not then. Okay, so Howling Commandos. Okay. Do we say that the Howling Commandos is like a task force in the US military that still runs today?
I quite like that. That's quite fun.
So it's like they're Black Ops or something. It's like
okay, who is there in the Howling Commandos? There's the bowler hat guy.
Bowler Hat Man.
Bowler hat man and
The rest of them.
there's the one that knows German.
And there's the guy who's
and French, but he switched to French because that was how he got the ladies. That's a whole line in Captain America that I weirdly remember.
Oh, is it?
Yes. And there's also the guy who's Korean, right?
Yeah, who's
like,
descended.
He's like, should we trust everyone in here? And he's like, I'm Korean. I'm not.
Yeah, who's it's the descendant of the guy.
Wait, he's a descendant.
No. His grandson is the head of Peter Parker's school. Is the head teacher.
Fuck off.
It's the same.
No way.
They have the same actor, and they do it. That it's
okay. That's insane. Wait, no, hear me out then.
No. We can't.
No, hear me out. The high school teacher is in fact a trained operative undercover as a high school teacher and is in fact part of this like secret Howling Commandos.
I think we
Black
definitely
Ops
have
unit.
him. I think we definitely have him in there for this.
He should be in there somewhere.
What?
Glyph is a high school student.
How old is Glyph normally?
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Irrelevant.
It very much is.
Nah. Reality can be whatever I want it to be. Glyph, Marvel. Alright, there is barely anything on her, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, she
Wait. Stop scrolling fast. Like.
Physical, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no age.
I think we should steer away from another young Avenger after the last episode.
I love, why do my inner demons have to be real? As a quote from her character.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Right, so I think...
Ooh,
oh, what? Oh, okay.
Bang, bang, bang.
Okay, what have you got?
Right, okay. So, Howling Commandos. So we're going to have a present-day timeline in Phase 5, but we're also going to have...
The original, like, our post-World War II
yeah,
Howling
like
Commandos.
post-World War II, Cold War era Howling Commandos.
Yeah.
So, like how Bucky was, like, frozen and then doing, like, lots of different things and different missions and was basically operating for Hydra during the Cold War era and, like, destabilizing everything, right? There is also, like, the Howling Commandos doing, like, weird spec op missions in, like, Egypt.
Right.
Kind of like how the SAS in the UK did some stuff in Egypt, and I can't remember what they did.
Is she definitely Egyptian? Is that what it says?
She's Egyptian according to Marvel. Where... Or is she? Well, yeah, okay, she can conjure ancient Egyptian spirits.
Okay.
So she might not be Egyptian, but she can conjure ancient Egyptian spirits.
Okay.
So it makes sense to set something in
Egypt,
and then have it kind of unleash. Okay, weird one, really weird one. You know that bizarre cold open in Invincible?
Yeah.
Where there's the beginning of one episode where they're just
it's
in
just
Egypt
in a temple,
and they're opening
yeah.
a mummy, and then it was literally just to reveal that they're flying over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
why don't we just have it be like?
So it definitely should be about like I do like the whole like half and half in the past and in the present.
Yeah.
Howling Commandos stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How is she involved at all in the past in the like Cold War era part of it?
I don't know. Well, how old? Okay, so we don't want to do Young Avengers. So how old do we want her to be in the present?
I reckon she can be, if she's like
30s?
30s.
Yeah. Okay, like conventional superhero.
30s, but she was blipped so that we can fuck around with the timeline a bit.
Yes.
She can be like a very, very young kid in like the late 80s, early 90s.
I think that makes sense. So we've essentially kind of got like a Indiana Jones plot line where she's kind of tagging along in the intro, or like in the past, and then we've got a present day conundrum happening simultaneously.
Or like maybe like we do it that like her father was one of the Howling Commandos or has joined the Howling Commandos by the time the 80s starts.
Yeah, I quite like that.
And then he takes home an artifact that, like,
I reckon maybe not 80s. So how old are all the characters in the 40s from the Howling Commandos?
I assume they're in their 30s.
So I reckon what we do is something where it's kind of like 60s, like things are heating up in the Cold War, something's going on in Egypt. And so we have characters from the... It also makes sense in terms of casting anyway, because the characters that are from like 2013
have like aged 10 years.
Have aged about 10 years,
and we can spread that.
Yeah, but it can be so. It can basically be a 20-year gap where it's kind of like we start with the so that they're in the 1940s in Captain America 1, right?
Yeah,
and then when we get here, this is essentially like the like the 1960s Spec Op mission in Egypt, where they uncover the Glyph thing, which we need to research a bit more. What is this? Okay, teenage Nadine Hassan comes into her spirit conjuring powers at an inopportune moment on a New York City subway train. Interesting. I quite like that.
So what if she gets her powers?
When the Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. detect a massive supernatural surge, they investigate to find Nadine summoning the spirits of the Ancient Ones with a blinding light. Though she warns the team she cannot control the spirits, Commando Nina Price, aka Vampire by Night... Isn't that a Marvel thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of by night, but there's like Werewolf by Night. And
right, but didn't they make a Vampire by Night?
No, they made Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night, Alright, helps her regain control. Nadine is in her mind.
Okay, so what about this? Okay, I have an idea that could be kind of cool.
I've got one.
Is that she's on a...
Whoa, the washing machine.
I wonder how much that's getting picked up.
I'm going to double check that. Hold on. Don't say anything. What?
Yeah,
Okay, guys,
we're gonna
take a little break.
We're gonna take a little break.
1, 2, 3. And we're back. Hello.
Yeah.
Nothing happened at all. Okay, right.
Anyway, so the idea that I had is that what if she is on the New York subway during the battle in Infinity War. So like Infinity War at the same time that Infinity Wars happened, where the snap's happening.
Yeah.
She's on the subway and she's about to get dusted and her powers kick in and like there's like a protection summon spirit thing that keeps her from disappearing.
Oh, so Infinity War kind of reactivates the power that's dormant inside of her. Hold on, before we mention this, I want the thing basically being that the ancient spirits that she's so they like fly out immediately.
Yeah.
So they're doing that Spec Ops mission. I got it. Okay, right. So Howling Commandos, right? They're fighting.
Yeah.
And it's kind of under the disguise of it being like a Cold War Spec Ops mission in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
They are fighting Hydra. And Hydra is like how Nazis in Indiana Jones like are obsessed with mythical powers.
Yeah.
They're in Egypt for that very specific reason. They're obsessed with a certain type of mythical power. They're there to stop it. During the fight with Hydra, something happens that like releases the spirits, and the spirits somehow end up in New York.
Well, no, I would say that like in that scene, you get that I still like the idea of her dad being one of the Howling Commandos.
Maybe, but like,
and one of the
way we connect.
And then one of the spirits latches onto him, like,
and then latches onto
her after she's born a few years later.
Right, okay.
Like it's passed down.
Sure, that can work. And then but that's the key thing is that we have Howling Commandos fighting Hydra, means that the spirit gets released. Spirit connects to someone, then ends up. We more importantly, we are now in New York on that subway.
Yeah.
Infinity War occurs.
Yeah.
Everyone gets snapped. She's seeing everyone crumble to dust on the subway.
Yeah.
She sees herself start to crumble into dust. Something happens. There's like a blinding light. Everything's going on. And I would argue that you don't have anyone like the Howling Commandos there to stop her, because everyone is taking.
Everyone's too busy with the dust.
Too busy, being halved as a population. To care about one person on one subway.
And then she's somebody who has like. By the time that like the modern day Howling Commandos are reassembled after like Endgame, so like after she's had like 5 years with her powers to do like low level vigilante stuff, kind of like Daredevil.
Do you think she would immediately be? I think she seems nice as a person, but we could definitely rework her to be
like, oh, I'm using these powers to steal, like, kind of like
or
like
least,
Jyn Erso in Rogue One, like,
or maybe or like how like, if you remove half of the population, you have people initially struggling, right? She could be taking advantage of that either to help herself or to just survive. And that's how she's discovering her powers, is through that kind of unfortunate time in the 5-year blip. Is her dad dead?
I assume he would have been by then anyway. I thought he would have been gone by then anyway.
I think it works better if he gets blipped.
Do you get a bit too close to... okay.
Well, why not? The blip's right there, so why not that be the reason why they...
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
But he could just already be dead.
I guess.
Because it is like... He would be like, what, like 90?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the granddad as well. It might have to be grandfather as well. Like
I know.
I think it needs to be grandfather for the age.
So the reason why she's in New York and the reason why she's just got on the subway train is because she's just left her grandfather or dad character.
Yeah.
And like they've just died in like New York Central Hospital or something, right?
Yeah.
And so she's grieving.
As
also the powers have just transferred over to her.
Yeah.
Because they need a new host. And so she's grieving, powers are happening, suddenly new like the blip happens, and she should have died, doesn't die.
Yeah.
Powers get activated on the subway train goes crazy. It's going to be just like how the one really good scene in Shang-Chi is on the bus. But this is our one really good scene.
Is she fighting spirits on the bus?
I don't know, man. Something cool could happen. Like, anything's cool when it's in a tight location like that. You know what I mean? Whereas,
what exactly are her powers?
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
Can she just summon spirits to fight?
I don't know, man. Glyph can conjure ancient Egyptian spirits and control them, channeling the energy of the spirits. She can easily breach through barriers. She also possesses super strength, able to punch concrete and with little to no physical damage, suggesting amplified durability. She shares a psychic connection to her twin brother, Naveed.
Okay.
No.
Oh no, this is great, right? Because what if her brother...
Her spirit conjuring powers to her own... Oh, wait, okay.
Her brother gets blipped, but she doesn't No. Is a much better...
Hear me out. This is Morbius coded.
No.
No, but you know what I mean? Where it's like the two characters...
Yeah, but no.
Similar powers.
But I think he's the villain.
I think he's the villain
he's the villain, but I think that what we do... is that
shield uniform.
I think that one of them then needs to be blipped so that you can do the whole like psychic link. Like I've always been linked to my twin brother.
Ooh.
And then and then like during the blip being like her being able to like feel that she can't feel her brother anymore.
No, I think I got it.
Or
so we don't do that psychic link. We just ignore that because I think that breaks the fact that I think it's better that they're both mourning the granddad character. And they're both now leaving that situation. And maybe they're both on the train at the same time. And then they both get blipped. But for some reason, she survives and he dies.
Right.
But it's kind of like two ends of the coin. Where he's still kind of conscious despite being blipped.
Oh, he's one of the spirits?
So not quite. He's one of the spirits, but like he's on like maybe if we treat spirits like a spirit realm or something, where he's technically dead but conscious.
Right.
And he spent 5 years essentially being a weird ghost creature thing in another dimension, and it's freaked him out.
So if you've not seen all of Moon Knight, but part of Moon Knight is that he dies and goes to the afterlife.
I've seen bits of that, yeah.
So you could definitely do scenes like that where he's in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Weighing the scales, and the scales never settle one or the other because he's not.
And so he's just stuck. Yeah.
And it
probably maddens him.
Yeah, and so I don't think we should spend too long with her in the blip time. I think what we do
we do a cutaway, and then we kind of get an implication of where her character's gone.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we never really see her in the blip, but we see that she's done some shit, basically.
I think that she should become a Daredevil type character
in New York, yeah.
But I think because we don't know whether Matt Murdock gets blipped or not, do we?
No, we don't. But like,
so I think
New York's a big fucking place.
Yeah,
we don't know what like.
I was thinking New Jersey.
Please tell me you're not trying to do
no,
Sopranos.
No, I'm not. But like, I think like, or like we could do like another. We should do like another because like New York gets focused on so much.
I
in the
agree.
MCU.
Okay, I kind of get that. I think I'm focusing on New York because it says New York subway train. But
yeah.
Anywhere has a subway train.
No, but I think that scene is in New York, but she doesn't stay. People don't always live in the same city.
She moves elsewhere. I don't know because I think that's too much.
I think she sees it as New York is getting a lot of focus from the vigilantes that are still alive, and there are lots of cities that don't get that help.
I've just realised what we can do.
What?
Makes complete sense. So if you have 5 years off screen and you've just magically been saved, like you know that you've magically been saved from this world catastrophic event.
Yeah.
You start researching where you lived.
Right.
And so I think she would find herself back in like Cairo.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I think that would be where the plot happens from there.
Mm.
So you do the New York bit. So you basically do. Alright, hold on.
I think there's some fun you can do with Moon Knight. I think you can have Moon Knight in this show.
I think you haven't
because I think what we do.
Do we know it's a show yet? We don't know it's a show yet.
Or movie, but I think we can do it. We can do definitely a scene where she conjures Khonshu.
What do you want, movie or film?
I reckon we want
Heads or tails?
a show. Tails.
Alright, show.
Tails. Show. Okay. So I think we can definitely do an episode with Moon Knight in it, the way that Daredevil's in She-Hulk for a bit.
Yeah.
And definitely one of the things you have to then do is that she can conjure Khonshu, the spirit, into like being, and it freaks out Moon Knight because he's like, how the fuck are you able to see this thing?
Yeah.
And it's because yeah.
Brains farted. I was gonna do okay.
Yeah.
So right. So we're looking at it in a basic through line. I reckon if we're going full like episodic then.
Yeah.
The way I would do it, I wouldn't even start with her. I would have the blip happen very much near the end of episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of episode 1 is what's been going on with the commandos
in
the 60s.
In the 60s. Yeah, okay.
And then episode 2 is more about her now being in Cairo after the blip.
I know how how we could bridge the gap as well.
Go on.
Is that we cut from the Howling Commander that is her grandfather to him on his deathbed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we like transfer who we're following from him to her.
Yeah, so essentially we're not focusing on her. The narrative through line is always the spirits. So whoever is connected to the spirits or relevant to the spirits in their plot line is the main focus. So you have it be the guy, and then you're right with the So Nadine then becomes the focus by like the last 10 minutes of episode 1. And then you go on to... I reckon you have an episode where it is basically the cameo appearance of Moon Knight. And I haven't finished the show, but I reckon it's going to be the one that's obsessed with Egyptian stuff from the British Museum, right?
Which version of it?
Yeah, which version of him? Because there's a version of him that is obsessed with stuff from the British Museum, right? So it'd probably be more that it's him happening to help her out, and then she can also see Khonshu.
Yeah.
And so you have a freak out moment, and it's probably just a whole kind of bit where it's researching what's going on. And while that's happening, you have the through line of the brother being essentially tortured in a not quite life.
I think...
And then waking up.
I think the way we can do it as well is that the spirits that she can summon are like the good spirits from mythology and stuff, and she gets all the people who she can summon the spirits of people who pass the test of the weighing of the heart thing.
Sure.
And the brother ends up with all the people that don't pass the test.
Ah, okay, I like that. So it's it's the balance.
Yeah.
We're pinching little bits from Jordan Peele's Us, I think, with this, but it's fine.
No, I don't think
but
we are.
You see what I mean with
the
the parallels of it. That's kind of like what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but I think it works. It works for this because you're not going to really feel that.
Oh no! It's not like you're going to be like, oh my god, it's just like this. But there is kind of something to note where it's like narratives where you got the two. Pairing like back to backs of two characters, and then like one getting the short end of the stick, the short straw.
I think by episode 2, she needs to be reintroduced to the modern Howling Commandos.
I agree. Yes.
In which case, we need to figure out what that is. What are the Howling Commandos now?
Okay, so we have got some organizations. So the bit that I'm confused by.
Yeah.
Is they keep talking about this thing called stake.
Right. What does it stand for?
Supernatural Threat Analysis for Known Extra Normalities.
Right.
AKA stake. Oh, I understand what stake
it's a special subdivision.
It's very special for like anything supernatural.
Kind of like how Sword is meant to be, is originally meant to be Shield, but for space.
Yeah. Exactly. So there's shield, there's sword, there's stake. Stake is their supernatural department.
And it's stake because it's like stakes that kill vampires.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
That's so stupid.
It is stupid. I love it, but it's stupid.
I think we could. Yeah, I think we can definitely do stuff with that. Where like when Shield fell,
Dum Dum Dugan liberated her and apologized for the mistreatment.
Yeah.
While Dugan, who is Dum Dum Dugan?
That's the guy. That's the main Howling Commando man with the bowler hat.
He's called Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah,
I just call him bowler hat dude.
He's from the 40s. He's a character from the 1940s.
Fascinating. Okay, I reckon bring back.
No, I don't think you do.
Bring back him as an ancestor.
So
he's the Spec Ops.
You get that same actor again, yeah.
And they call him Dugan or something just to make it more normal.
It should feel like the Kingsmen, but for like Kingsman, but for like America, but that's
like an American GI Kingsman.
Yeah.
So not quite like the Kingsman in Kingsman Golden Circle, but like an American GI like.
Yeah.
So kind of like a little bit of SAS Spec Ops stuff from the UK, but more for Americans and more kind of pulpy.
Yeah,
and that's what.
And there's a bit of it's kind of a lineage thing.
Yeah, and that means that you can bring back actors from First Avenger in little ways and have them be completely new characters. Like I'm imagining it more being like some rough and tough.
And I think
I've been in Afghanistan.
And I think
kind of like,
you make it that the the Howling Commandos they work for Stake, and Stake like Sword is like a subdivision. It was originally a subdivision of Shield, And when S.H.I.E.L.D. fell apart...
I'd like to make the argument that there's too many organisations, and what I would do is I would make the Howling Commandos turn into Steak.
Oh,
Or
okay.
essentially say, fuck Steak, but the equivalent of Steak is the Howling Commandos.
No, I
think Steak's funny.
I think you might be right then about like, well, we're a group of people, but like we've got no, and we used to have a government thing with S.H.I.E.L.D. and we don't have that, but we've still been operating.
I think you'd even start it where, essentially, I think especially with a name as goofy as Steak, that comes from the past, surely. So if anything, when we're starting in episode 1, they're called Steak. And the implication is kind of that the Howling Commandos from the 40s in the war has been renamed to Steak under S.H.I.E.L.D.
What does Steak stand for? Just again, this supernatural
threat analysis for known extra normalities. So probably after everyone in the Howling Commandos has seen the Red Skull, they're probably like, some weird freaky shit going on around in life. And then they start researching, and then they happen to stumble across the Egyptian stuff.
I think what it is that the what was it that S.H.I.E.L.D. was originally called before it was S.H.I.E.L.D.? It was called like the SR something, or
the stuff that what's his face is...
Agent Carter is part of before it's called S.H.I.E.L.D. It's called it
something. All that's going on in my head is that
look it up. It's like it's called. It's called like the. It's called like the SRR or something. No, that's just S.H.I.E.L.D. Look up Agent Carter. Like. No, with type R.
Strategic.
The SSR, yeah. So what you can have is that the SSR has acquired stake and become S.H.I.E.L.D.
What? No, I really recommend you just because especially because we're already in the 60s.
That's what I'm saying though.
S.H.I.E.L.D. already exists by the 50s and the 40s. Yeah. So why not just have it that S.H.I.E.L.D. has a subdivision called Stake, like in the comics?
Okay.
It makes way more sense because you just keep it all concise. And then where were we with the? Wait, there's a Sphinx. What?
Oh no, I think that's
AKA Sphinx's help. The help traps the commandos. Enough mut.
I think we can throw this all out and just say that it's we do the brother thing kind of a bit like
I like the brother thing.
Yeah. I think we can do that where she
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna write that. Okay.
Actually, I think
6 episodes in this.
Yeah, I think I know what could be a fun structure. Is it instead of doing 5 years later after the blip, we do 4 years later, so a year before everything gets solved.
Before you get into that, I'm going to write some stuff.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got...
Into the microphone.
Yeah, this is more for the notes. Right, so we got the intro where we have the commandos in Egypt in the 60s, right?
Yep.
And then that leads into... And we're focusing on the spirit focus, right?
Yeah.
And that leads into...
The blip.
Brother and sister... with Grandad, which leads into Subway. Subway blip, right?
Yeah.
And then we have episode 3, which is 4 years later.
No, I think that should be episode 2. I think episode 1 should end on the blip.
Yeah, okay. Well, episode 2... But episode 2... I kind of like it more as a cold open, though.
What?
The blip stuff. Where time has passed and you can tell that from the episode gap. But so we've got the subway plotline happening towards the end of episode 1, I guess, and so all of that separation of power stuff happens. So it's kind of like an Act 1, Act 2 in episode 1.
Yeah.
So you have Act 1 with the commandos in the 60s and the uncovering of the spirits, and everything goes wrong, right? And then the character is, right, and then you have Act 2 essentially being an introduction of the two characters, the sister and the brother, before everything goes wrong.
Okay.
They're meeting their granddad. Their granddad passes away. They're mourning. They go on the subway. Blip happens.
Only one of them is
Only one of them is alive. The other one goes to the other place. We probably don't see the brother for a while. He probably gets revealed again in episode 3 or something.
That was what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Is that the reason why we do 4 years later instead of 5 is that then we get like her doing random vigilante stuff and getting caught by the Howling Commandos stake people and getting recruited by them to deal with the like deal with other supernatural stuff that's been going on.
Sure.
You could even introduce vampires if you wanted to get like you do like little pieces of that.
So State captures her in Cairo.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. Right. So 2, she joins the team.
And then by the beginning of 3,
she's in Stake, and that's when we get the Moon Knight stuff.
No, Moon Knight's after the blip, but I think
No, Moon Knight is after. Oh wait.
Yeah.
So this is 4 years after.
So
okay,
wait.
Yeah, explain why it's 4 years after.
Because I think what you want is that moment of seeing everyone returning from the blip.
Yeah.
While she's already in the organization.
Sure.
And being able to be like, my brother's alive. Everyone's come back. My brother will be alive. We have to go find him.
Okay.
And then you can do like the hunt for the brother.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So she joins Stake in episode 2.
Yeah.
That's 4 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing stopping us from doing what I was saying then. So we do episode 3, where she finds Moon Knight, but I think she's finding Moon Knight
before
in an attempt to. So it's basically like she's traveling away from Cairo now. She's traveling to London. She's trying to find her brother.
I don't know.
For some reason, she's stuck in there.
I don't know how early in the timeline I suppose Moon Knight can be happening whenever, can't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can still have We can have like this is meeting Moon Knight, but before the events of the Moon Knight show. Happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So Blip happened. Looks for brother. And then Blip happened, looks for brother, and then bang, 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 Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
And then what I would do for episode 4, stop all focus on her,
and do it on him.
Because we're focusing on the spirits rather than specifically her,
yeah,
it's the other end of the spirits, it's the flip side of the coin.
Yeah.
And so that's when we finally, like, if anything, at the end of episode 3, we see the brother again, and he's causing devastation in New York, or something, right? Something that shows that he is now kind of an evil character. And then episode 4 is, how did this man who seemed really nice in episode 1 get to that point?
Yeah.
Why is he suddenly a psycho now? Because we haven't really...
Yeah.
There is no explanation for it until now.
Yeah.
So it's an episode 3 cliffhanger of, why is this guy now a psycho?
Yeah.
And then you show that he's basically been in this kind of purgatory for 5 years, losing his mind with like the worst kind of spirits out there.
Yeah.
The worst of the worst. And then you realise, okay, I probably would go crazy as well.
Yeah, if all there was to do was to summon and control spirits, but you're already in the afterlife, like, you're basically just teleporting them.
And then episode 5 is the them kind of like how in Daredevil you've got like the episode where you have episodes where the way he introduces where the way that we get characters introduced to us, like the old man and is it Scratch, something like that?
Yeah.
Scratch and Elektra, like the way that we get those introduced is that he already knew them in his past, and that now they're becoming plot relevant because they're back in New York.
Yeah.
Right? Similar premise to that, in that it's kind of a reunion episode by episode 5. So it's kind of like part battle, part reunion. And then episode 6 is more of a resolution of how do we get that solved and knit.
I think we should do like a play on the whole, like, you should be expecting that, like, he's not going to be the end-all villain. He's misunderstood. Mm-hmm. And then the thing is, no, he's lost. Like,
How do we bring Rhodey into this?
You see, I wasn't going to do that.
But now we should.
I was going to bring in Blade.
Yo.
And have it be a soft launch for the have it be a soft launch for the Midnight Suns kind of near.
Oh my god, no, that makes a lot of sense because they don't know what the fuck to do with Blade right now because that script's in development hell.
Yeah.
So we're saving them. That's what we're doing. We're saving them.
So
suddenly Blade appears. Episode 6. Suddenly Blade.
This is why I wanted parts of that parts of
not old Blade. It's new.
Yeah, parts of that episode 2 where it's like fighting. She's like already fighting supernatural stuff. Should be vampires.
Yeah.
And werewolves and
so
whatever
you're
else.
Slowly introducing those concepts.
Yeah.
That there is the supernatural and it exists.
And then what it means is that Stake can be like the shield of the
Blade stuff.
of the Blade stuff of the Midnight. So like what
what
Shield is to the Avengers, Stake is to the Midnight Suns.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that.
And then we can have Kit Harington.
Let's not do that.
From its time. No, not now, but like we can do that later if we do a season 2.
I know how we do Kit Harington.
Well, he wouldn't be in this.
No. Hear me out. So we've got Moon Knight at the British Museum. Now, where is Kit Harington?
He's literally just over.
He's a couple of doors over, chilling. So we just go. She's like, "Oh, you're fucking useless, Moon Knight character." And then she storms off, and then she goes to meet Kit Harington, and then he's like, "I have a sword," and then she walks off.
No, because but he wouldn't have the. He definitely wouldn't have it at this time. Or maybe
whatever.
But,
I don't care about Eternal. I do not care for Eternals.
No,
it insists upon itself.
But we can't just cheat here.
What do you mean we can't just cheat here?
We can't just cheat.
What do you mean we can't just cheat here? We add Kit Harington in. We say, "Hello, you want money, right, Kit Harington?"
I think we could definitely do something where. Okay. It's possible that we do something where they have a contact who happens to be one of the Eternals, and it can be whichever one we want.
Brian Tyree Henry, because I like him.
Yeah. There
There we go.
Except he's probably the only one who wouldn't be because he's got a family.
Oh well. Maybe we don't need the Eternals. Maybe we don't need them.
Maybe we don't need the Eternals.
I don't think we need them.
No.
I think Blade's enough.
I think Blade is enough. You're right.
Blade's enough.
I think So what type of madness?
This is kind of good as well because it's kind of the same way that like, Black Panther's introduced in an already ongoing narrative.
Yeah.
And then you get the focus on him.
Yeah.
Or like how Spider-Man in that.
It's like you're soft launching Blade to show how cool he is, so that when his movie comes out, people are already interested.
I think especially for characters like Spider-Man, like Black Panther, like Blade, where they have very, very like big fan bases specifically for those characters. Like Blade is massive in terms of a fan base, just solely for Blade. So it makes sense that the way you introduce those characters is just, we all know Blade.
Yeah.
He's that half vampire dude that kills vampires.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, rather than, how do we give the backstory to Blade?
Yeah.
Right.
We need to figure out what type of motivation does the brother have? What does he want? Why does he want to cause destruction? Does he want to release? Does he believe that the spirits that no matter how evil, no matter what evil the spirits did in their lives, they don't deserve the eternal suffering that they're getting in the afterlife?
That makes a lot of sense, for one. But I think, two, a little bit of him that probably drives him is, if I satisfy all of these voices ongoing in my head right now, maybe it will stop. Maybe I can finally chill. So, the idea of satisfaction for them is do a lot of crime.
Well, no, I'm thinking more like his motivation is to summon as many evil spirits on Earth as possible,
right?
Because that gets them out of their eternal prison.
Oh,
and
he's kind of been suffering with them for 5 years, so he's just like, get them out.
He's got like kind of like a Charles Xavier, he can read their minds kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where he feels their suffering while they're in there.
Yeah, and
it's
in order
torture.
to make it stop,
he has
to get them all out.
But then once they're out, they're
causing chaos.
And then they're causing chaos.
Like Ghostbusters.
Which means that they feel joy.
Yeah.
Which means that he feels joy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And she has to be like... And they have to stop him.
Yeah.
And it's a very morally grey thing of like that you're condemning a lot of these souls to suffer, but they deserve it. It's like,
you know what I mean? Like they deserve punishment.
No amount of crime deserves infinite torture.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the and
part of it is like all of these spirits in question. If we're going on the basis that they're from ancient Egypt or at least from ancient history, they have suffered for like hundreds of years in this kind of weird purgatory style torture, and they're very itchy and jumpy and like, let's do all of the crime and all of the stuff. I think we did it
right. And then how does she stop her? Does she kill her brother?
I don't think we need to work that out, but I think killing her brother might work. How invested are we in Glyph? Because Glyph is kind of she's kind of integrating a lot of like the stake plotline stuff.
Could we
do this? If she is a vessel for Blade,
what if their mental link is also physical? So like one gets hurt, the other it kills her as well, and that's the choice.
I reckon the really bitter,
and that way we can get rid of her from the timeline.
No, I reckon what happens is that she is still in the timeline, but she basically has to condemn her brother back to purgatory. Yeah. Or at least maybe she doesn't make that call. Someone like Blade makes that call. Who is very edgy already and kind of like life is suffering. He's like, I'm gonna push this girl forward into being this edgy vigilante style character by essentially condemning her brother to eternal
condemning her brother to watch the Eternals on repeat forever.
With the boys. Alright. I think that works.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
So you think Blade takes the choice away from her?
I think Blade or a character in that position, which is most likely Blade. So maybe Blade or what's his name? Dum Dugan. So like the new Dugan.
Bum Boogan.
New Dugan or fucking Blade.
Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem or Blade makes that choice. He's like, I like that deal. I'll make that deal.
And then like the.
That's it.
Obviously, that then creates the need for like.
It drives potential season 2, or it leaves it.
I think it leaves a door. It means that you leave a door open for Blade and or the mid. Because like I reckon we're not getting a Blade movie, but we'll get a Midnight Suns movie instead that just has Blade as the main.
I can see that happening, but also I can see that essentially being okay, like how Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and WandaVision are kind of connected, but you don't need to watch it.
We can do it.
This is essentially our version of this, where Glyph is essentially a precursor to a Midnight Suns or a precursor to a Blade movie, where it's kind of like soft launching a couple of concepts. And so, is there space for a potential season 2 of Glyph? Yes. Do you need it?
No.
Not necessarily. Because it's like noises. All right. So it's kind of like an open and yet closed.
Yeah.
Thing where it can soft launch a couple of other concepts, or it can be a season 2 in of itself. Mr. Feige, you can decide.
I mean, is there anything we've left? Is there anything we've left out? I
don't know. I felt like this was a hard one anyway. Because she is someone that
so
is
obscure,
really,
like
I love how this was like, even though she's connected to like the Howling Commandos for some reason, and she's in Phase 5, so she's in present day.
Yeah,
for some reason,
but that makes it harder.
But
that makes it harder because I think it's the Howling Commandos. Normally in comics, the Howling Commandos exist in the present day as well.
Yeah.
But like because of the way the MCU set up,
it doesn't. In the past,
But so we could I definitely think her joining the Howling Commandos instead of the Midnight Suns is a choice that she makes because she doesn't want to work with Blade. Like
because of what?
Yeah, she's like she's not thankful for what Blade did, but she knows why. But it's like I know. I do
not want to hang out with this man that basically condemned my brother to torture.
Yeah,
I understand why he made that call.
Yeah,
I disagree with the call. Like, she probably even disagrees with the call, but she's just like, okay, I've got to accept that I am now this person with superpowers that can help.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we can start introducing
Howling Commandos, the TV show. Spec Ops. Just Spec Ops with...
Yeah.
Yeah. I quite like that. I actually quite like the idea of a supernatural-ish
version of S.H.I.E.L.D. like
special S.H.I.E.L.D. show, which is essentially like...
We're making Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
but
it's just magic. It's just magic. It's only the magic parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's magic, but it's also not quite Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's more like I'm imagining it more like US military Spec Ops style.
Yeah.
Rather than like an espionage
like 24. But
the
bomb. There's 24, but the bomb is magic.
Instead of like 24, it's like we have until the next full moon to get rid of this werewolf off the streets.
Yes.
And then
there's a timer for when the clouds will.
But they're just looking up. They're like, how much time do we have? Look up.
Beep.
Like,
beep. Beep.
My God, it's a full crescent. All right.
Is that?
I think that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good.
All right, and with that, thank you for listening to us, Mr. Feige. Goodbye.